Imagine waking up one morning and hearing a deep, loud sound outside, like the sky itself was growling. And before anyone could understand what was going on, the winds began to move at 700 miles per hour, a speed so strong that even the strongest buildings shook like they were made of paper, and people could feel the air pulling at their clothes and hair even inside their homes, making everyone freeze in fear. Because no human had ever felt wind like this before, and trees that had stood tall for 100 years were ripped out of the ground and thrown into the air like tiny toys, spinning and flying so fast you could not even see their shape anymore, only long blurry lines across the sky. And cars rolled down the streets like empty cans being kicked around, flipping over and smashing into each other as alarms screamed. But no one could hear them over the roaring wind, and birds were lifted straight up into the clouds, disappearing like dust, while huge signs, roofs, and even whole small houses were torn off and carried away like feathers, and people hid in basements, under tables, behind walls, holding each other tight and praying that the hour would pass quickly, because the air felt like a giant invisible hand trying to grab everything and everyone. And the streets became empty as dust, sand and debris filled the air so thick that nothing was visible, turning day into a gray storm where only the sound of the wild wind existed. And even oceans changed shape as giant waves rose like moving mountains, crashing into the shore and pulling anything near the water deep into the sea, while planes were forced to stay far away and birds, insects, and anything light simply vanished into the wind, and even the tallest skyscrapers bent slightly under the pressure, groaning like old giants trying to stay on their feet. And everyone in every city and every small town felt the same fear. The fear of something too powerful for humans to control. And for that one long hour, the whole world became still even though the wind was faster than anything on Earth. And then, as suddenly as it began, the wind stopped like someone flipped a switch. And the silence that followed was so strange that it almost hurt people's ears. Because after 60 minutes of roaring madness, the quiet felt heavier than the storm itself. And when people came out of their hiding places, they saw a world that looked like it had been shaken by a giant, with trees lying across roads, cars piled on top of each other, roofs missing, power lines tangled on the ground, and the air filled with dust settling slowly like snow. And yet in the middle of all this destruction, people also felt something else, something rare, a feeling that reminded them that life is fragile and powerful at the same time. Because even though the wind tried to take everything, humans still stood up, still helped each other, still stepped over broken pieces of their world and looked around with grateful eyes, saying to themselves, "We survived something the world has never seen." And news channels replayed videos of objects flying like rockets, trees twisting in the air and waves taller than buildings. And scientists said this kind of wind was not supposed to happen on Earth. It was the kind of wind seen on other planets, like Jupiter, not here, not in our quiet towns and busy cities. And people everywhere talked about that 1 hour for years, telling their children and grandchildren about the day the wind became a monster, the day the Earth felt like it was shaking in fear, the day when everyone realized how small we truly are compared to the power of nature.